It does not simply press forward. The orca turns the ice into a tightening force against its target. Each close approach reflects a remarkable level of strategic thinking in the ocean. Precise group coordination removes every natural advantage the target may have. Within that controlled scenario, any attempt to shift the outcome fades away. Once the strategy fully locks into place, the encounter reaches a decisive turning point. The orca is the largest member of the dolphin family, reaching about 30 feet in length and weighing around 10,000 pounds. It communicates through sophisticated sound systems, remembers migration routes, and coordinates hunts with exceptional precision. Beneath its black and white exterior lies a highly developed brain, allowing it to adapt its strategies from shallow coastal waters to the open ocean. This collective intelligence, adaptability, and coordinated strength have placed the orca at one of the ocean's most capable strategic predators. The ocean is a kingdom where power often belongs to the one with the sharpest teeth. The great white shark, reaching about 20 feet in length with a bite force of around 4,000 pounds per square inch, has long been seen as one of the ocean's most formidable hunters. Then from the deep, massive, dark shapes begin to move in. Once the orcas arrive, the advantage of the solitary hunter disappears at once. This is no longer a simple pursuit, but a coordinated operation. Through echolocation, the pod assesses its opponent and focuses on the point where its stamina is most limited. The encounter intensifies as the orcas move with synchronized collective force. With one precise move, they turn the opponent upside down, triggering tonic immobility. In only a brief moment, the giant loses effective control of its movement, becoming almost motionless. Without turning the moment into graphic violence, the orcas bring the encounter to its conclusion with calm control and absolute precision. The order of the ocean is reset once again. Raw muscle gives way to the power of collective intelligence. The ocean has never been as quiet as it appears. Here, the blue whale stands as a wonder nearly 100 feet long and weighing more than 300,000 pounds, yet it carries the nature of a gentle giant. Its immense size provides extraordinary endurance, but it also turns every maneuver into a major energy burden during a prolonged survival chase. The pursuit begins as the orca pod accelerates, closing in on the giant as it tries to escape at about 20 miles per hour. As the distance narrows, they apply a strategy of steady exhaustion. Rather than rushing in all at once, they take turns applying pressure, cutting off every opportunity for the target to recover its rhythm at the surface. Each sweep of the blue whale's tail, weighing thousands of pounds, is powerful enough to send shockwaves through the water, yet the pod's collective intelligence counters it through calculated agility. After hours of isolation and sustained pressure, the endurance of the largest animal on Earth gradually fades. Once the whale no longer has enough strength to fully wield its only true weapon, its massive tail, the balance of the encounter is effectively decided. Once again, the ocean repeats an old but powerful lesson. Solitary strength often becomes the target of disciplined coordination. Beneath the deep blue waters of the polar region, a quiet lesson in survival unfolds. The target is an ice floe rising only about 3 feet above the surface, where a seal rests in complete complacency. For the orca pod, this is not merely a hunt, but a field lesson in how to overcome some of the harshest terrain in the ocean. Under the guidance of the mother orca, the hunting formation begins to spread out with the precision of a highly disciplined formation. Each individual, weighing around 13,000 pounds, moves in perfect coordination, striking the water with powerful tail beats to compress thousands of gallons of water into a massive artificial wave aimed directly at the target. This is wavewashing, a technique that turns the ocean itself into a directional force. If the ice still holds, the pod immediately adjusts its angle, using the momentum of its immense mass to overcome even the most stable structure. In their world, collective intelligence is the ultimate lever of power. As the ice tilts downward, a new order is firmly established. Without chaotic confrontation, patience and strategy allow the orca pod to confirm its place among the ocean's most dominant strategic animals. One lesson in survival comes to a close, preparing the way for a new generation of highly skilled hunters. Along the coastal migration routes of the North Pacific, the gray whale appears as one of the most enduring travelers on Earth. An adult, reaching about 50 feet in length and weighing over 80,000 pounds, carries its most valuable treasure alongside it, its calf. This maternal bond forms the first line of defense, yet it also becomes a limitation as speed is reduced by the vulnerability of the newborn. When the orca pod enters the scene, the situation does not begin with a direct move. Instead, it becomes a demanding test of breathing rhythm and endurance for the mother. Some individuals trail behind to disrupt her swimming pattern, while others press in from both sides, forcing constant changes in direction. The greatest pressure lies in patience, as the orcas wait for the moment when the formation weakens, creating an opening to separate the calf from the protection of its massive guardian. Despite her immense size, the mother whale cannot break through a formation controlled by some of the ocean's most intelligent minds. Each attempt to accelerate only increases the strain on her breathing and drains her energy more quickly under sustained pressure. It is a clear demonstration that when persistence aligns with collective intelligence, even the most powerful creatures can be pushed into a disadvantage. The ocean is not only a home, but also a high-stakes race for these silver arrows. At speeds exceeding 20 miles per hour, dolphins move with complete confidence, relying on their ability to turn in an instant. But when the dark dorsal fins of an orca pod slice through the surface, speed is no longer a safeguard. A calculated pursuit begins. Without wasting a single movement, the orcas immediately form their positions. One group stays close behind, pushing the target into rapid energy loss, while others surge forward to seal every possible escape path. The difference lies in spatial control. Orcas do not simply chase. They cut angles, narrowing the movement corridor of their target. When one dolphin becomes isolated, the outcome becomes difficult to reverse. An adult orca, weighing around 13,000 pounds, launches more than 15 feet above the water, using its mass to generate a powerful impact that disrupts the animal's balance for a brief moment. This is a contest between some of the most intelligent minds on the planet. Dolphins rely on speed to survive, but orcas rely on geometry to dominate. As the formation breaks apart, the ocean falls into a heavy silence. Far from the heart of the ocean, along the coast of Patagonia, large sea lions weighing around 800 pounds gather along the shoreline. They enjoy rare moments of rest after demanding fishing journeys. Yet the calm on the sand is only a fragile illusion, because just beyond the surf, dark shapes begin to emerge. The orca is already prepared for one of the most sophisticated survival strategies in the natural world. As the tide reaches its peak, one orca suddenly accelerates to nearly 30 miles per hour. Instead of stopping in safe water, it makes a bold move, driving its body of nearly 12,000 pounds straight onto the shallows. This is intentional stranding, a remarkable display of ocean intelligence, where the orca uses the force of the waves to erase the boundary between sea and shore. In only a brief instant, the distance to the target disappears. With a body turn measured down to the inch, the black and white hunter removes every advantage the terrain once offered. And when the dark figure slips back toward deeper water, what remains is not only silence on the beach, but a clear reminder of the position held by one of the ocean's greatest tactical hunters. The lion surges forward like a force that breaks the still rhythm of the grassland. This predator does not need to display dominance. It simply closes the distance with the confidence of a ruler. The prey is left with almost no room to turn as the pressure steadily tightens. Even large and highly alert rivals can lose their footing when that presence moves in. And that is what defines the lion's position in every hunt across the savannah. On the sunlit floodplains of the Serengeti, calm is only a fragile mask. Here, spotted hyenas, opportunists weighing around 140 pounds, move with calculated chaos, confronting the disciplined order of a lion pride. What stands between them is more than a struggle for food. It is a long-standing rivalry embedded in instinct. Their low, echoing calls rise like a challenge as they attempt to surround the lionesses. Yet that confidence fades the moment a manned figure steps out from the brush. Standing close to 4 feet at the shoulder, the male lion does not rely on strategy. It uses sheer power to break through the formation. In a sudden surge, confusion spreads through the hyena clan as they recognize the cost of crossing into claimed ground. A single strike from that mass of muscle is enough to break the resistance of the slowest individual, restoring order through overwhelming force. The confrontation does not always end with adults. In an effort to reduce future competition, lions may target young hyenas if their den is discovered. This is not driven by revenge, but by a practical survival strategy shaped by long-term pressure. As the encounter settles, it leaves behind a quiet but firm message. This land is already claimed. In this demanding cycle, understanding one's place is essential to survival. On the sunlit grassland, a confrontation unfolds between a solitary giant and a highly coordinated hunting pack, charged with intensity. An adult lioness weighing around 300 pounds stands firm like a muscular stronghold against the overwhelming presence of nearly 20 African wild dogs. This is not merely a contest over food, but a demanding test between collective strength and the authority of a top predator. Facing a pack capable of maintaining speeds close to 37 miles per hour, the lioness does not waste energy on prolonged chases. Instead, it uses dominance to disrupt the opponent's coordination. Through short, explosive bursts, it breaks through their layered formation, asserting control over the territory with decisive pressure. By targeting key positions with direct, strategic actions, the lioness may bring down slower individuals to re-establish order. This behavior reflects not only survival competition, but also a natural mechanism that helps regulate population balance among apex predators. The lion is one of the few big cats that turns strength into a structured way of life. Within the pride, lionesses lead the hunt, protect the young, and maintain social cohesion. Male lions apply pressure through size, their roar, and the mane of a territorial guardian. Each individual holds a different role, yet all contribute to the authority of the pride. That is why the lion is not only the ruler of the savannah, but also a key force in maintaining the balance of the grassland. Under the intense heat of the dry season, the river is no longer a place of safety. A Nile crocodile, about 15 feet long and carrying a bite force of up to 3,700 pounds per square inch, finds itself caught along a fragile line of survival. As water levels recede, this king of the wetlands is forced onto land, stepping into the domain of the savannah's most coordinated hunters. The lion pride detects the vulnerability. They do not rush in blindly. Instead, a pincer formation takes shape, closing off every path back to the water. The encounter becomes a measured contest of pressure. On the dry ground, the crocodile's limited mobility becomes a critical disadvantage, and its dominant role begins to give way under the pride's coordination and strategy. At this boundary between water and dust, raw power yields to collective precision. Another chapter of the savannah comes to a close, leaving a clear reminder: no position remains unchallenged when nature begins to shift the balance. Under the intense heat of the savannah basin, a presence weighing around 13,000 pounds stands like an unyielding fortress. With skin nearly 1 inch thick and strong herd intelligence, an adult African elephant has almost no natural challengers. Its presence alone signals authority, enough to make even the most confident predators keep their distance. But in the wild, a minor leg injury or a moment of isolation can shift that position. Taking advantage of the slowed movement of a vulnerable giant, a pair of lions remains persistent, turning the encounter into a demanding test of endurance. Without relying on display, they focus on timing and pressure, using the elephant's disrupted breathing in an open clearing. The encounter settles into stillness, shaped by the quiet rules of survival. A source of nearly 600,000 calories becomes available, enough to sustain a pride of around 15 individuals for several days. From a distance, another adult stands watching, its gaze reflecting an awareness of the cost of isolation across the open land. What remains on the grassland is not simply an ending, but a reminder of the discipline and cohesion that define survival in a demanding natural world. The oryx stands as a proud duelist of the desert, its long, straight horns rising like sharpened blades. With powerful muscles and a weight of around 400 pounds, it does not hesitate to use these natural weapons to push back even the most formidable predators. Exceptional heat tolerance and endurance allow the oryx to command harsh regions of Namibia, where survival is measured in every scarce drop of water. On damp floodplains, natural gathering points for these long-horned animals, with horns stretching over 3 feet, 2 young lions wait with patience. A calculated stalking sequence begins. Rather than confronting the defensive horns head-on, one lion reveals itself, guiding the target toward a partner already in position. The oryx is not easily pressured. It repeatedly lowers its head, turning its horns into an almost impenetrable barrier. Then, in a brief instant, the momentum shifts. Taking advantage of a single opening, the lion releases a surge of strength, creating a powerful impact. The oryx resists and struggles to hold its ground, but against the combined strategy and force of the predators, its efforts gradually lose ground. What remains is a hard-earned lesson in persistence and authority within the balance of the wild. Under the scorching sun of the African continent, the hippopotamus stands like a moving fortress weighing over 4,000 pounds. Spending much of its time submerged in still water, that slow appearance conceals a highly territorial and defensive nature. A single misstep from any intruder is enough to trigger a sudden burst of force, turning its massive jaws into a formidable weapon. But when night falls, the balance begins to shift. Away from the safety of the water, the hippo becomes isolated in the presence of highly skilled predators. Its thick skin, once a source of resilience, is no longer an effective shield against coordinated pressure and endurance tactics from a lion pride. The grassland hunters move in sync, repeatedly applying pressure from behind, using collective weight and persistence to wear down the massive animal. Each attempt to push back is quickly offset by the pride's agility. This intense encounter becomes a test of limits and endurance. If it cannot return to the water in time, the exposed giant gradually loses energy under sustained pressure, providing a vital source of nourishment for the pride. However, the line between success and danger remains thin. With a bite force of around 1,800 pounds per square inch, a single well-timed counter from the hippo can immediately halt the advance. In the cycle of survival, strength is not defined by power alone, but by recognizing the fine boundary between risk and restraint among nature's most formidable animals. The orca demonstrates that its strength lies not only in its size, but in its hunting intelligence. It coordinates with precision, turning the water itself into a strategic advantage. Across the ocean, it holds the position of a predator that shapes outcomes through strategy. If you enjoy moments like these, press like and subscribe to the channel. Because in nature, those who anticipate often hold the advantage.